it's Jen. How are you guys? I am so happy to be back. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've made a video, and I hope this one's okay because there is a big storm going on outside. So I hope the lighting is okay. I mean, it's pretty much pitch black out there, so yeah, and you could probably hear it too, but I gotta get this done. I really want to get this, creative energy out. So for you guys that are new, I like to try different journaling structure techniques every month, and I do a monthly journal. And because I kind of have creativity ADHD a little bit, where I get bored doing the same thing over again, and instead of beating myself up, I thought maybe that's just what I like to do, and I like to switch to different things and try new things. If I have too much regimen and structure, I tend to get frustrated and overwhelmed, and then I just want to give up. So I like to keep it fresh and try different journaling techniques every month. And this is the journal I'm working in right now. It's probably reflecting in the light. I didn't even think about that. But I tried a binder journal for June, and I filled a lot of it up so far, but I still have a little bit to finish. And I like this because I can take out the pages that I don't use and use them for something else. And you can also take out your papers and work on them and do whatever you want to them, and you can even run them through a sewing machine if you want, and then you can put them right back in. So I'm excited to finish this one up and to do a flip through of it soon. The other thing I do is I make kind of whimsical alien girl themed ephemera journaling supplies and art, and I have a Patreon account which is in the description. You can check it out if you want. And this month's theme was the ocean, and I'm not really into the patriotic stuff for July especially, so I kind of stayed in that color scheme a little bit, but branched out and did my own thing with the ocean. So I have lots of little fish designs. I have these in die cuts and as these pieces that you can write on. You can use them as labels, and these are like little die cuts. And I have these, and I do a couple journal with me videos over there, and I send some really interesting happy mail. I send a postcard every month. It's an art print postcard, and everyone gets to vote on it on Patreon, and it's a really nice quality postcard. So that's at the $6 and up tier, so no matter which tier you're at, you'll get that one starting at the $6. And then at the $20 tier is my happy mail tier. And this last month of June, I kind of did this zine in a bag idea, and I just provided some high quality images, found images related to summer and the theme of my art for last month. And I also provided some handmade pin back buttons featuring my art, as well as some stickers of my art. That goes to my happy tier, and I'm going to be trying to change it up with a variety of items every month, just so you don't get bored with it. So this is a journaling card. It's like a message in a bottle, but you actually have lined paper on it where you can journal on that. And I have this plain as well without the scuba girl. And I have this scuba helmet, and my thinking was that you could use an X-Acto knife and cut around the edges, not the straight part of the hinge, but around the rest of it, peel it back, and then you can put a loved one's picture behind it. I have die cuts here of some little fishies and florals and seaweed leaves. And I made a captain, and he's such a sweet captain. He will he'll go catch you fish, he'll make you dinner, he will start a bath for you, he will take you out for a boat ride, he'll do all kinds of things for you. He takes care of his crushes, and he says, "Here, Bae, take some time to journal, I'll make dinner." So he's pretty cool. Yeah, and one of the alien girls has a crush on him. So yeah, I made a tile. It's kind of like a Moroccan tile here. Oh, this is my favorite thing. I made this into a larger pattern page here. So you can use it as a journaling page, or you can make this as a journal card, or you can put a photograph in front of it. or you can put it on a journal cover. So I provided some ideas on what you could do with the different things. And this is my 4th month, I believe. April, May, June, July. Yeah, so I have 4 months of art on my Patreon account. And once you sign up, you can have access to all the art from the previous 4 months. So I think that is a steal of a deal, actually. And this is another journaling card, and it came from this artwork where this alien girl, she wanted to go see what the farthest depths and reaches of the earth was, and that was the bottom of the ocean. And so she found something very alien, just like her, down there. So she made a friend, and then I took the friend here and made like kind of like a cabinet card, you know, photograph. And I put like some background wall, kind of designed some old-timey wallpaper. And I took a lot of the flower elements from that tile, like, you know, from here, and put together a flower bouquet. So you can make that a journal card. You can make this a pocket. And there's just a little piece there. You can flourish photographs. And the little fishies have this little circle punch. You can use that to label. This is the message in a bottle, but it's without like all of the other stuff, like the distressing and then the alien girl inside of it. So it's like a clearer picture. And this is one of the big art pieces I really worked on, and it's kind of small, but I might be selling prints of this like later on in the future. But I was really proud about this, and this is our captain, and our alien girl is like crushing on him, but she wanted to see the ocean and what it's like on Earth, so he, you know, agreed to take her for a ride. And her friends came down to visit and say hi, and this one's touching the captain's hand. And I put, what would you name this boat? Write it in white gel pen. So there's like a lot of area here, so you could write something. You could put July, or whatever month you want to put in there. You could put your name. And then brought her out as just like a little die cut doll. And more die cuts of the other elements in that tile, and then a smaller journaling card of him. So I got those, and then these are the pattern pages. I already showed you this one. And then these are the fish, a little bigger without the writing space, and I kind of made this into a pattern page, so you can fold it and it can be a page in your journal. And this journal card was made from elements in this tile, and I did make it smaller. Yeah, so I made that smaller here, and here I wrote labels. You can use it as a label, and then this little one, you can fold it and make it into a tab if you want. There's all kinds of possibilities. You can even fold this one in half, and then you still have writing space, you know, for a tab here as well. So I would say like the stuff that I'm making is like really specific and to my like inner workings of my mind, but I'm trying to like make it into things that are useful. So this can be a pattern page, a journal page as well. And I have an ocean waves paper. Oh, I love it so much. And then I just have a regular striped one. It kind of is reminiscent of that nautical pattern look, but put some black in there for contrast. So yeah, that's what I got as far as my July printables, and I'm in love with them so much. But the purpose of today's video was to show you a little bit of the work I did for July in case you're interested, and to make this month's journal. So this month's journal is, I've made one of these before, and I think it's my all-time favorite journal, and it is a envelope journal. And I have a few envelopes here, and I actually have some large ones. So you guys let me know if you ever get any large ones in the mail, if this would be replicable, if you can make something like this at home. And so I grabbed 3 envelopes, and I also grabbed some lunch bags, because those are about the same length or same width across. So I got a couple paper bags, and then I got a couple scrapbook papers. I got these just to go along with the colors that I made. So this is like an orangey red. I don't know if it's coming through. Mine's like a cherry red kind of thing. but it still goes. And I have turquoise here, and then like a really, you know, bright blue. So I'm going to use those, and I'm going to use my pattern pages that I designed. And I'm going to try to do my my July journal using these items. My reasoning for an envelope journal, why I like it so much, is that the pages are incredibly tiny. And so it doesn't take a lot of time to decorate a page. And what I'm going to try to do is a daily journal out of this envelope technique. Only because the pages are incredibly small, and I think it's doable to do every day. And even if you do miss a day of it, you can easily add a post-it note in place of the journaling that day. And with the envelopes, they're going to be open. So if you don't think you have enough space to write on the pages, you can slip journal cards inside, or a folded piece of paper with more journal writing in it. But I'm going to try this month because I just feel like things have been so crazy and it's been hard for me to keep up. And I want something simple. And this has always been my favorite, so I'm going to see how it works with the daily journaling aspect to it. I am going to see what I can do with this, and I want to make it as easy as possible. So I just got really easy materials for this. And if you have junk mail envelopes that you're getting in the mail, you need to save them. My thinking going into this is what I'm going to do is cover it with a basic piece of fabric. And then what I'm going to do is paint it. I have like lots of blues here. And I have this like color shift one. I have Mermaid Parade, Cobalt, and I have like a little bit of glitter too. Once it's done drying, I'm going to put it through my embossing folder, or you can keep it as is. And then, so it's going to have some color, some paint texture, and then I'm going to have a focal point of one of my art images on the cover. And I'm going to do my favorite one where the captain takes little lady out to sea with him on an adventure. So that's going to be my front cover. Thanks for being here, and I hope you enjoy this, guys. Well, hello. This is VoiceOver Jen, and I'm going to just walk you through some of the steps and some of the thinking process that I had along the way. So I first started out by gluing my fabric, and I use a combination of Fabri-Tac and glue stick. I don't know if it was the best idea. I think if I did this again, I would probably spread the glue more evenly, because I did get some air bubbles in the end, but that was all right because I pressed everything through my embossing machine, and it was, you know, the air bubbles were covered up anyway. So I'm just making sure that I fold everything, and I'm cutting off these little triangles so that they will tuck over neatly. And I just use Fabri-Tac because it's really a quick hold glue. And I got a visit from my little cat. Her name's Pepper, and she's like a little young jit, like adolescent, and she's hyper, and she keeps us on our toes. When you're painting on fabric, make sure to find a really stiff brush, not a like soft one, but a firm and stiff brush so that you can actually get the paint on the fabric, because it's woven, so it's kind of hard to get the paint in between, you know, the woven parts. So make sure to get a stiff brush so everything gets on there. And my trick to making things look painterly is to use different tones and shades of a color so that it gives you more interest and looks painterly. This is called Color Shift paint, and it's a paint done by Folk Art Paint, and I like it. It gives it like a shimmer, and you can find this at Walmart, and it's pretty inexpensive. So all I'm doing here, if you've ever made a journal or junk journal, you'll be familiar with this part. You're gonna cut down all your papers to your desired size. And with this, I just made it really simple and quick and just rip it using my ruler. So it's kind of hard right here with the little small tiny parts, so be careful. I do like the little rough edge that it gives me, so that's why I chose to do it, and it's pretty easy. So yeah, I just went by my envelope cover. That envelope actually came with a smaller return envelope in it, so I used that one as a guide for my inner pages. And I'm just cutting up my pattern pages and the scrapbook paper and going ahead and folding things in half. I just want to thank you guys if you held on this long and watched my video. I am just so sorry about the lighting. It was so dark and rainy and blustery, but I really wanted to get this out of my system here. So I'm sorry for all the color changes. I think the camera is reacting to the different color papers that I'm using. So I just want to say thank you for hanging in there, and I hope you're able to kind of see what I'm doing with the bad lighting. I'm getting this thing that I use as a bone folder, and I'm making sure that these folds are really tight and nice so that it doesn't make my journal like have that wide alligator mouth issue. And yeah, I did end up making this journal too thick. I never know like how many pages to put in. I should have probably just put 6 pages in and called it a day, but there were so many pages that I like, and I wanted it to be able to last all month. So we'll see. I mean, I love to stick layers on, and it's really going to get wide, so I'll just bind it, with a string around it when I'm done with it. But yeah, that's why I really like the binder journals, and I'll be doing the flip through of my finished one from June very soon. So yeah, but I'm going to try this out and see how it goes anyway. I ended up not making a true full envelope journal, but I did include a couple envelopes and kept it at the size of, a larger envelope. So it's not like a official envelope journal, but it's kind of like a passport size. But I do enjoy the size. I do have a paper bag there, so lots of spaces and hidden pockets to hide things. And if you want to extend your written journaling, you can, put it on another piece of paper and tuck it into those pockets. So that was my idea with that. So now in this stage, I'm just going to add a little more color to my white pages, because leaving them white doesn't really inspire me very much with journaling. I do have a few white spaces so I can make my own, spreads. But yeah, I just have to put a little more color in my journals just to motivate me to use them. So I grabbed my trusty go-to, which is February and June's journaling cards. And these are available on her Patreon, but they are so versatile and I use them all the time. They are really beautiful with collage and illustrations. And she offers them in different sizes, so I back all kinds of things with them. These pages, I've made journal pages with them. I've put them on the back of playing cards, just all kinds of stuff. I use them for photo mats. And here I'm just gluing on some of my pattern paper from last month, which is like a starfish paper. And I tell you what, that Elmer's school glue, oh my gosh, I don't know if mine dried out a little bit or something, but it is so sticky and just really adheres quickly. So be careful with that, but it's a pretty good glue, a good replacement for Uhu sticks if you can't afford those, or if you have to order them. So yeah, so I'm gonna pull more things to help decorate my journal. And yeah, it's just a variety from Lydia. And I also have some things from Morgan Plans, and she takes very beautiful photographs. So those are her flower photographs, and I'm using those to decorate my paper bag. For these little folded flaps you're about to see, you have the option of turning those into a pocket right here, this one. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I might extend it as a journal spread, or I might glue the top edges to make it a little tucky pocket. So we'll see. Again, here's Lydia's beautiful journaling cards, and I actually cut this part larger so it encompassed several of her journaling cards, just because I needed it to be bigger. So, but it looks great together. I love it. I decided to line the inner cover with one of Lydia's journaling cards, which she enlarged it and made it really big. Those are the sizes that I use as journal pages sometimes. So like I said, they come in a lot of different sizes, and I just love the colors here. This page is from Morgan Plans. She scanned it from a vintage book, and I thought it was kind of like eclectic to use some of the vintage things and some of the newer pops of color and contemporary art like I created and like Lydia's work. And here I forgot to run this through the embossing folder before I lined the inside cover. So it was really too thick. So I had to kind of tinker with it to get some of it embossed. But yeah, you'll see how I deal with it later on. But that's, that's part of the art process, is when things don't turn out like you wanted it, or if you make a mistake, how are you going to problem solve it? And that's a big part of doing art. I used a piece of washi tape here just to connect everything, and I didn't want the pages to peel up as I open and close the journal. Usually I line journals with fabric in the spine, but I didn't want to make this any more stiff or thick. or alligator mouthed. So I just went with washi tape. I used some wax linen thread to bind everything together, and I have this awl I'm using that I got from the sewing department at Walmart. However, it makes huge, gigantic holes, and I'm not really happy with that. I have another one that's really skinny, but I'm not really sure where I got it or what kind of tool it's supposed to be. It's just like a poking tool, but it worked for the most part. I just made sure not to shove it through all the way to make my holes like really like gigantic. So I'm just doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I usually do like a 5-hole stitch, but this journal is so tiny, I just went with the 3-hole. It's pretty chunky to start and pretty stiff at the spine. I think it's because I left like a piece of letter inside the envelope that I started with, and I'm using a lot of scrapbook paper in this, and I think the key is to use thinner paper. But we'll see how it goes, and yeah, I like it. And I got lots of little pocket areas and different tucks and a paper bag. So I can see it getting pretty big with the way that I journal. But maybe I'll journal less since it's so small, and I'm not really sure. So the last step is to add some wax to it, and the kind I'm using is called Art Alchemy Metallic Wax, and this color is Mint Sparkle, and I'm not sure why, but it smells so good. Okay, I think it's because it's beeswax based that could be why it smells so delicious. But I am not really familiar. Oh, and it's by Finnabair, and it has like the moth logo on it. I'm not really that familiar with a lot of mixed media stuff, but I just started off like really nervous and put just a little dab on a makeup wedge that I got from Dollar Tree, and just gently brushed it over the raised embossed parts. And as I was working, I just got more and more confident, and so I added more and more. And like within the grooves of your embossing, if you're not careful at the beginning, you might get like chunks in there, but you can definitely rub them out and you'll just have like more wax concentrated in that area. See, I'm about to rub some in the upper right where the circle is. There's a big glob there, and yeah, and I just pressed it, and see how it just looks more opaque right there. So yeah, so I like this stuff. It smells really good, and I don't know if it rubs off. I think it kind of rubs off a little bit as you use it like onto your hands. I don't know if it ever really dries, so if you guys have any advice, I would love to hear your advice. I have used a heat gun to this stuff before, and it like looks even prettier, but again, I'm not sure if it truly like dries because it's like a wax, you know. I don't know, it always feels kind of greasy. So I think I'm going to add some like a Mod Podge layer over this journal when I'm done. But I really love it for distressing, like I'm doing right here, instead of just using like stamp ink, you know, to distress. I love how it like shimmers and glitters. So yeah, I like this. And again, the color is Mint Sparkle, and it's this beautiful like green, like ocean green color. So yeah, I hope you guys like it, and I'm happy with it. I just think it's going to be a little too tight, but we shall see. So you guys let me know what you think. But again, my printables are available on my Patreon, and I hope to one day, once I balance my schedule and my time out, to try to come out with some other items that are outside of Patreon. I'm hoping to start some sticker sheets and things like that, but we'll see, because it's already a lot of work, because I put a lot of detail, you know, and ideas into my collage sheets, and still focusing on, you know, trying to make the videos and get the Happy Mail together. But you guys let me know what you've been up to. What kind of crafty and creative things have you been up to? Remember, you guys are creative. You just got to do it. Set some time aside. Believe in yourself. Whatever comes out is truly you and your unique art. You are an artist. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.